Hello YouTube, this is my first video of my new YouTube channel, and I figured that, sorry I was itching my hand, that for the first video I would do a deck build for one of my favorite decks, Dragons Collide or, Chaos Dragons. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'll start with monsters, spells, traps, and side deck. And I'm gonna start with like monsters that come in the structure deck, and then like monsters that you kind of have to buy, or get somewhere else. So basically, yeah, we'll just start it. So to start off, we have 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and his effect is that you can special summon him by banishing a Dragon type monster on your side of the field, so he's pretty easy to get out, 2800 attack, and then every turn you can special summon a Dragon type monster from your hand to graveyard, besides Red Eyes Darkness Metal, so that's really good. 3 Dark Flare, you can special summon him by banishing a light and dark in your graveyard, and then you can also send 1 Dragon type monster from your hand and 1 Dragon type monster from your graveyard, or from your deck to the graveyard to banish a monster in either player's graveyard. So that's good with Eclipse Wyvern, or if you're playing like Dark Worlds with Grapha, where they can resummon him. And then he's got 2400 attack, 5 stars dark. Light Pulsar, 2, same summoning rules as Dark Flare, but he has 2500 attack, and you can special summon him from the graveyard by discarding 1 light and 1 dark monster from your hand, and then when he's destroyed, you can special summon a level 5 or higher dark monster from your graveyard, I believe. Yeah, and alright. 3 Eclipse Wyvern. This is a really important card in the deck. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can banish a level 7 or higher dragon type monster in your deck, and then when he's banished from the graveyard, you can add that banished monster to your hand, so that's really good with Red Eyes or Galaxy Eyes. 1600 attack, 4 stars light. 2 Axe Dragonutes, 2000 dark, 4 stars, but when he attacks it changes to defense, so that's why I don't really like to run 3. And then the last 6 cards that come in the structure deck, Dark Armed. What's good about Dark Armed is that to summon him you have to have exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard, and then his other effect is that you can banish a dark monster in your graveyard to destroy a card on the field. So right when you summon him, you can guaranteed destroy 3 cards, which is really good. 2800 attack too, so that's really good. Chaos Sorcerer, you have to banish a light and a dark in your graveyard to special summon him, and then once per turn you can banish a monster card on your opponent's side of the field, but he can't attack, but that's really good. Lord of Dragons, dragon monsters on your side of the field can't be targeted by spells, traps, or card effects. Snipe Hunter, this is a very good card, won me a lot of duels, when you summon him you can discard a card, roll a 6-sided die, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's destroyed. Very good card. I'm usually willing to take the risk, to destroy one of their main beaters or somebody that's just, doing really well. 1 Raikou, when he's flipped, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and you can destroy a card on the field. So that's a good effect also. Herald of Creation, this is a good card like late game when you have a lot of your level 7s in the graveyard. Basically, you can discard a card to add a level 7 or higher monster from your graveyard to your hand. Plus she has 1800 attack, which is, high attack. And then all the monsters, and then that wraps it up for the monsters that you can get in the structure deck. And I'll be moving on to monsters that you have to get elsewhere. So, first off, 3 Alexandrite Dragon, 2000 attack, 4 stars, light monster, really good dragon. 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. The reason that I run 2 is because although Darkness Metal and Dark Armed are both very good, this card has 3000 attack. Plus, he's fairly easy to summon with Darkness Metal's effect. And then also, since XYZs are kind of big now, when he, battles an XYZ monster, you can banish them both, and then you can do this with any monster, but basically, when you battle, you can banish both of them until the end of the battle phase. So if they've got like a Marshmallow or something, you can banish them both and then attack directly. But if they running XYZs, when when you use that effect, he gains 500 attack for each XYZ material monster that they have. So, that's good against XYZs, but also, it's just a really strong card. One Jinzo, just because, 2400 attack dark monster, 1 sacrifice. It's just really good for, negating traps. I think Shinzo is just a really good card. It's just a plus that it's dark. 1 Big Eye, and basically how this works is set it, flip it, and then you can look at the top 5 cards in your deck and arrange them in any order you like. And what's good about this is that you don't have to show your opponent, so they can't think of a counter to the 5 cards that you set. Alright, that's it for monsters. 26 monsters. This deck is mainly monsters. It's 44 cards, so over half of it is monsters, but that's kind of the point, is to get your, strong monsters out. Alright, on to spell cards. 1 Burden of the Mighty. What this card does is each of your opponent's monsters loses 100 attack points times their own level. So let's say you're playing Chaos Dragons, mirror match, whatever. And what this doesn't come in the structure deck, so if somebody is staying really true to the structure deck, they won't have this, so you'll have a bit of an edge, because a lot of people are running Chaos Dragons now. But let's say they summon Red Eyes Darkness, activate this. Red Eyes Darkness only has 1800 attack because it's 10 stars. Or they summon an Axe Dragon, it only has 1600 stars, or 1600 attack points. So I really like that card. I've been thinking about running 2, but I think it's good at 1. 1 Flute of Summoning Dragons, good with Order D, summon 2 dragons. DDR lets you bring a monster banished back to the field, but you have to equip it with that, so if they destroy it, it's destroyed. Still a good card though, especially in this deck where you have to banish a lot of cards to summon a lot of cards. 1 MST. I main deck 2, or I main deck 1 and I side deck 2. I don't really like to run MST because sometimes there's dead draws, but it's necessary to run at least 1. 1 Burial. This lets you put 3 remove from play monsters back into your graveyard, so it's good for like Dark Arm's effect, or special summoning, Light Pulsars and Dark Flares and all that. 1 Foolish works well with Eclipse, send them straight to the graveyard and banish a monster, and then work on banishing Eclipse back, and then getting that banished monster to your hand. 1 Heavy, kind of a staple. Destroy all spell and traps. Pot of Duality. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, pick 1, and then shuffle the other 2. I would run 2, but unfortunately I have only 1, so I'm looking for another one. But so if you have 2, run 2, but I only have 1. 1 Monster Reborn and a Dark Hole, both staples. You should know what they do if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, on to traps. 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Solemn Judgment, double Royal Decree. Don't run triple. A lot of dead draws. I get a lot of dead draws with 2 even, but 2 is a good number because if they destroy 1, then at least you have another. And plus, I mean, you only have 8 traps in this, so not being able to activate traps isn't really a big deal. So I wouldn't really worry about it. Plus, you have Jinzo, so that's basically like another one of these. One Bottomless, one Dark Bribe, maybe run 2. I only have 1. I would probably side deck the other one in case they're running a lot of skill drains or something. That's the reason that I side deck 2 is. That's why I play 1 and side deck 2 is in case they're running like 3 skill drains, because skill drains are gay. Sorry. 1 Mirror Force staple, 1 Torrential staple. Alright. On to the side deck. 1 more Solemn Warning, in case I'm playing on 6 SAMs. Get rid of all those summons. 1 Escape. It's a lot like DDR, only it's a trap. 1 Dragon's Rebirth. I used to main deck this, but what I found is that I would draw it really early game, and it's a dead draw early game pretty much, because when you activate it, you can banish, you can banish 1 dragon type monster and then special summon a dragon type monster from your hand or graveyard. But it was a dead draw most of the time. It's a matter of preference, really. Red Eyes Trio, Red Eyes Black Chick, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Inferno Fire Blast. The cards are alright, but they're not very practical. They're fun to use, but I would really only use them, if I was playing a really, like a new kid and I beat him really bad first round, and then I'll just be like, yeah, I'll just put these in just because, using Red Eyes is fun, but a 2 sacrifice 2400 attack monster is really not that good unless you're running like Ancient Rules or something. And if I was going to run a 2 sacrifice normal monster, I would run Blue Eyes because he comes in the structure deck. 2 MSTs, in case they're running, skill drains. 1 Trap Jammer, in case I'm playing somebody who runs a lot of like negate attacks or things that activate during the battle phase. 1 Summoner Monk. I used to main deck him, but I found that I started taking out spell cards, and he became less useful. So I decided to take him out. But maybe if I'm running against a deck that doesn't let me summon a lot, I'll use him. Most of the things in my side deck are just things that I'm too, not lazy to take out, but I don't want to take the chance of needing them again. But so don't really focus on the side deck besides like the 2 MSTs and these like 3. These 2 are mediocre. The rest are kind of just my own personal touch. I mean, with the side deck, you can add your own cards. I don't really like to focus on the side deck and, when I look at build videos, but feel free to do whatever you want. And then 1 Effect Veiler, discard him, negate a monster card's effect until the end of the turn. It's just a good card. But I got a lot of dead draws with it, so I side decked it. And then finally 1 Gores. I used to main deck this. It was one of my favorite cards, but... And you can feel free to laugh at me and call me a noob in the comments, but I did not realize that how when you take damage you can special summon him. I did not realize that you had to control absolutely no monsters, and so, sorry. I didn't realize that you had to control absolutely no cards on the field, so I would have spell and trap cards set, and then I would summon him. And then finally somebody called me out on that at a tournament today, and I was like, wow, such a noob. And then, I tried playing him like that, but he's not consistent enough. I mean, I kind of just side deck him because I really like him, maybe if I ever get the chance to use him again. But one thing I forgot to mention at the start of this is that I have won 3 local tournaments. I mean, this is a budget deck, so I mean, you can get all the cards in here for under $40. I mean, the most expensive card in here, maybe Pot of Duality. It's like a $6 or $8 card. unless you get a common. And then, I mean, Jinzo, I got that in Battle Pack Epic Dawn, so you get that for like $1.50. But yeah, that's it. It's a good deck, really easy to make. Mainly just focus on the main deck, don't worry about the side deck, except for 2 MSTs. Never want a main deck more than 1 MST, unless, you know, they're running a lot of spells and continuous spells and traps like first game. Then you put these 2 back in. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you have fun with this deck. Good luck.